Oh, welcome. Hopefully you're all having a great day. Welcome back to the stream. We are going to be doing our match preview, the Millwall, our London derby, our last London derby, I believe it is, of the season. After this one, 3 games to go. So yeah, it's gonna be a difficult game going to the Den. It is a lunchtime kickoff at 12:30. So we'll be live around about 12:15. We will be, and hopefully we can get a decent result. You know, a point is what I'm looking at, to be honest. 3 points would be a lot better, 100%, because obviously we want to be in the top 10. You know, not much games to go. You know, Millwall are going to be tough. They're going to be fighting for promotion, obviously, with what they're doing right now in the league. But personally, I would say right now, yeah, basically all eyes on next season. So yeah, apart from that, hopefully you're all having a great day. I know we haven't really uploaded that much in a while. You know, it's only really been the match previews, a short here and there. So yeah, but we're gonna get on to the preview right now. Hopefully all in the chat anyway, and going from there. Right, so as you can see, big game on Saturday. Big game. You know, Millwall was sitting third at the moment with 73 points plus 9 goal difference. They're actually having an excellent season, the best season they've had in a while. You know, they have had issues with managerials, and it seems to me that the manager there right now is doing the job for them, and I believe it is Alex Neil, not Daniel. I was going to say Daniel, but it's actually Alex Neil. Alex Neil, very interesting manager, very interesting head coach. Has been around in the Championship quite a bit. I don't know if I'll compare him to Neil Warnock, but he's a very well-known Championship manager. Has done well in the Championship. Has done well with getting clubs into the Championship as well. He has managed a couple of teams, which I will say now who they were. So he's West Brom, Norwich, Borough, Ipswich, Blackburn, Derby. Or actually, no, tell a lie. That's not. Yeah, that don't listen to me. That don't listen to me whatsoever. Do not listen to me whatsoever. That was just stupid to even go on about. So yeah, teams he's managed now, I'll say the proper ones. So Hamilton, he's been at Hamilton, then went to Norwich City. Very good record, Norwich City, 45 wins, 21 draws, 42 losses, similar to Julian. Very good record at Preston North End in 2017 to 2021. 73 wins, 46 draws, 72 losses. Sunderland went there, wasn't there for long, to be honest, only for half a season in 2022. Won 12, drawn 9, lost 4. Stoke City, he was there for pretty much, I would say, a season and a half maybe, where he got 14 wins, lost 19 and drawn 10. And with Millwall, he seems to be doing a hell of a lot better job than usual, where he has won 36 games, drawn 14 and lost 22, and he started in December 2024 last season. Or was it 2 seasons ago? I'm not too sure. I could be wrong. I think it's last season. But yeah, he's done an incredible job with Millwall this season. He pretty much, I would say the players that they brought in, I'll be honest, I'm not, you know, they have a couple of good youngsters on there. You know, Cobham, everyone knows about really from Middlesbrough. Will they sign him? I'm not too sure, but I can't sit here and say I know every decent player on their team because I don't watch Millwall that much. But personally, all I can say is Dan Neil does do a good lineup and strategy on the day. So yeah, if we go to head-to-head, obviously Millwall have beaten us in the last 2 games in 2025, obviously at home last year. And then obviously they beat us The Dem 2-1 back in February last year. And apart from that, it's been pretty even. But they dominate us in wins, to be honest, when it comes down to it. So yeah, am I expecting an easy game? It's gonna be tough, man. Honestly, I'd be happy and privileged to just say a point away is just necessary right now. So yeah. We sit 11th at the moment with 58 points compared to what last season was. It's a big improvement. Goal difference wise, I don't know if it's similar or what, but 16 wins, 10 draws, 16 losses. I'm hoping it improves next season for sure. I really want it. I really want Julian to succeed at QPR. I think he's a great head coach. There is improvements that I needed in the squad, so yeah. But aim is top 10. We're not far off of it, and then see what happens. We go from there. But let's have a look at obviously Millwall in the sense of what they've been doing in the past games. So realistically, their form is middle kind of average type of form, where last game they drew with West Brom 0-0 away. It looks like it looks like West Brom dominated that game with possession. Momentum was there. Millwall had a couple of attacks of momentum there as well. So similarities, let's see what it says at Norwich. So Norwich dominated them at their ground. They did, which is no surprise. Goals from Shortau and Matson there. Middlesbrough, they beat Middlesbrough 2-1 away. Cobham with 2 goals. Actually, they must have bought Cobham, because I thought Cobham played for Borough. So yeah, that's a bit weird. Momentum-wise... Oh, hang on. Chat's coming through now. Sorry, people. Chats are coming through. I didn't see. Sorry. We'll have the chats in a second. My apologies. Yeah, Millwall did beat Middlesbrough 2-1. Fry, obviously, the only goal scorer for Middlesbrough, but Middlesbrough dominated that game. You know, and looking at the goals, obviously, if we go to the last, is it the last game? Ipswich, dominant performance by Ipswich yet again, but it ended 1-1. And if we go to Blackburn, when they lost 2-1 at home, Blackburn pretty much dominated the game there. So what I can say is this, for what I can look at when I'm seeing this on stats wise, they don't try to control possession. They do not try to control the game. Their aim is pretty much counter-attacking football, set pieces, wing play goals. Majority of that, you can tell by where their goals are coming from everywhere on the pitch. Cobham's got 8 goals, Aziz 8 goals, 7 assists, Ballo 1 goal, 4 assists, Ivanovic 9 goals, 2 assists, Denor 1 goal, 4 assists, 3 goals, 3 assists for Nagil, Kramer 3 goals, 6 assists, Taylor 3 goals, 2 assists, Cooper 4 goals, 1 assist, and Sturge 1 goal. Patterson obviously doing well in goal for them as well. I believe he came in from Sunderland on loan, possibly. But at the end of the day, all their goals are coming from everywhere on that pitch. So set pieces, attacks, you know, it's all coming from the same thing. So counter-attacks we got to watch out for 100% in this game. You know, defensively, they're really good. It looks like it. You know, they do not allow that many goals in. So yeah, I would say we got to kind of make sure that we see, counter-attacking is something that we're doing at the moment with our team, which obviously everyone knows and can see. But I feel like we need to dominate this game quite a bit. You know, we need to kind of push the attack on. We need to get through the middle in majority of ways to beat their defense, to get goals into Burrell if he is playing. Collie, Kone, whoever it is. I don't think crosses are going to do a thing here whatsoever. So we might want to stop looking at crosses and going from there. So I honestly would say we got to focus more on physicality going down the middle for sure. Crosses I don't think are going to work. They got too much height in the middle of the defense. You know, set pieces wise, free kicks might be a good shout if we get a chance there. But we need to defend as well. We cannot... So when it comes down to fouls, we've got to be careful with what we're doing and just go from there. But realistically, we're gonna probably want to just get a point out of this away. It's gonna be a difficult game at the Den, more difficult for the fans, to be honest. But let's see what happens, you know, because obviously we have good news and players coming back. You know, Burrell we saw against who was the team? Bristol City. You know that he came back, did okay coming off the bench. But right now our midfield is our aim. You know, defense is doing okay, midfield's doing okay. We're on form. 3 wins out of 5, 2 draws, not bad. Finish the season strong and we can go in there. But I think creativity is something that we need to probably put more on the pitch tomorrow, Saturday, sorry. So if it was obviously, if I was sitting here right now and tell you what the team could likely be, I would say Burrell would be on the bench for sure. Obuku, I'm not too sure what's going on with him. It would end up being Kone probably. It's probably going to be the same team as what we're used to seeing at the moment on that field. I would honestly say Chair, seeing him in some photos today in training, which is a good sign. Will he be back on the bench? Possibly. We never know. But I reckon we'll end up seeing majority of players come back the last game of the season. So yeah. Just coming off the bench and going from there, getting them fit for pre-season for next season. But I feel like we've got a good side to basically finish top 10 still and see what happens there. I don't know what formation he's going to choose, but realistically, we need to defend and attack a lot tomorrow. Not tomorrow, on Saturday. I keep saying tomorrow. I think it's Friday today. Don't know why, but yeah. Attack and defend is something we've got to be more energetic about on Saturday. So yes. Who's in the chat? Sorry, alright. This was bad idea for this. Robert, good evening, DB. How are you, Robert? I'm good, thank you. Pete says, right, DB lad, I'm good, man. I'm all good. Hopefully you're okay. I'm going to be a 3-0 loss. Jeez, okay. Robert says, if we turn up, we should at least get a draw. If we start with Collie and Burrell, we will win. We can't compete against clubs like Millwall, who is an attacking midfield. Robert, personally, I would say I wouldn't say it's going to be an easy game tomorrow. I keep saying tomorrow, Saturday. It's going to be difficult, man. Honestly, it really is. You know, I feel like people underestimate Millwall this season, but Neil has done a great job with them. You know, personally, I think that our aim is to basically get a draw, get a point at least away. A point is brilliant. You know, I don't want to see any injuries more coming into the team. I just want to see us go in there, give a good performance at least, and if we get a draw, cool. But if we win, even more happy days. You know, I can understand where West Ham's coming from in the sense of a loss, but personally, I'm just gonna go with a draw. A 0-0 draw would be lovely. If we get goals, happy days. But I'm gonna be honest, it's a lunchtime kickoff on Sky, and Millwall chasing for promotion. So it's going to be very difficult, man. Very difficult. You know, we haven't really been doing good at the Den for the last couple of seasons. So yeah, going to be very interesting. So yeah, who is an attacking midfielder? As in, do you mean who are we playing as an attacking midfielder? I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with the team. You know, at the end of the day, all I can say is Chair is back in training. They're seeing pictures of him, and hopefully we can see something going on at the end of the season from him. So yeah, but yeah, apart from that, it's gonna be a tough game. It really is. You know, we got 3 games left after this one. Swansea at home, we got Derby at home, and then Ipswich away. You know, everyone. 2 games there that are pretty simple. We should be getting 6 points out of, and the last game is going to be difficult because Ipswich are fighting for promotion. You know, Middlesbrough have dropped down really badly. They've gone down to 5th. I'm actually surprised to see that, to be honest. They've had a really bad form. Coventry as well. I think Coventry won the league. Coventry won the league for sure. I would say. Technically, on point wise, they haven't, but I think it is. If they beat Blackburn, they won the league. Ipswich Town, like I said, my favourites to pretty much go up as well. They're second. Millwall still chasing it. Southampton still chasing it. Hull, I just think are not. You know, Wrexham, a 4 points difference there. But yeah, see what happens Saturday, and we'll go from there. West opposite. If we are only 0 down by half time, there's no point in watching the second half. Jesus Christ. Listen, look, at the end of the day, I will say this, right? That's up to you. If that's what it's like, then cool. But for me, scorelines, look, I've been to games where I've watched QPR, and I've been at a stadium where QPR have lost fucking 6-1. I will not leave my seat or stop watching the game just because we're losing like that. I will sit there and because I love my team and support my team, I will suffer the pain for my team as well. You know, like, so technically, if it's one of them things where people just, oh yeah, yet again, boom, okay, cool, fair enough. But at the end of the day, listen, if we lose, we lose. You know, it's that simple. The omens are against us. Robin says, look, I'm not going into this game with thinking we're gonna win. You know, at the end of the day, we have a chance. We do. We have a real big chance, but it's gonna be difficult. I honestly believe a draw coming out of this is the best thing for us, and we can go from there. You know, it's almost the end of the season, and we'll see what happens from there. But yeah, we'll see who gets the teams going on Saturday. You know, hopefully we got a strong side we put out. Don't know who's going to play up front. Be interested to see. Oh, sorry people, jeez, I'm tired today. But yeah, I think that's it. I think that covers everything, to be honest. I don't think there's not much to really say about what we need to look into, you know. I want to see Kone score goals. That's about it. But I think the midfield wise as well has been brilliant. Kieran Morgan, Varane, been killing it recently. Smith and Vale. Smith didn't really have an impact game that much, but Vale, okay. But defensively, we'll see what happens. You know, if he'll definitely put Mbenge right back for sure. I don't see that changing. So yeah. Apart from that, we're actually just going to leave it there for today. We are. Oh, hang on. West 12 says we need to change things up front. As in for tomorrow or for the new season. We can't score. Well, listen, look. Like, the only thing is this I can say is that I honestly believe our forward line is good. You know, our forward line is good, yeah, and cool. We could talk about goals and stuff like that. You know, Kone, right, okay, I get it. He hasn't really kicked off what everyone thought he was going to do. But at the end of the day, he's scored goals for us. You know, he scored 9 goals. Burrell's been killing it as well this season. You know, the thing that what is wrong with us is injuries, personally. I just think injuries have killed us so bad this season, yet again. And it needs to be sorted out. You know, I think if we're going to look in the market, we don't really need to look for strikers or anything like that. Because if we keep Burrell fit, 100% it'll do well. You know, and we'll see what happens with whatever we have. But my main thing with this that's coming up, obviously for next season, the thing that we need to work on the most is defensive abilities and creative abilities. You know, look, our defense has not been superb this season. You know, it's been a bit of a wonky one in the sense of where we've rotated it so much. We've brought in Ronnie Edwards. You know, we're lacking, in my opinion, in the wing areas as well. But it's also creativity. You know, once Maddison is injured, we're fucked. It's that simple. You know, Madsen is our machine in midfield. You know, he's our maestro, as Alejandro Forlin says. You know, he's the guy that creates and gets back to help out. You know, and we've missed that. And if we need a backup plan, you know, people think Kieran Morgan could be that. 100%. But at the end of the day, I think Kieran Morgan and Madsen might work a lot better together. But creativity, you know, we need another attacking midfielder, I would say, in there that can be like the Chair, can be like Tarapt, can be like that type of player that can create chances and score goals as well at the same time. Our front line is class, but 2-0-0s. You mean 1-0-0? Because we drew Preston 1-1, but we didn't really. It was an own goal. If that's what you mean. If that's what you mean. I get, look, when you're playing up against a team like Brendan Rodgers, not Brendan Rodgers, Roy Hodgson, you gotta remember Roy Hodgson is an ex-England manager. You know, the guy's gonna have everything ready for a club in the Championship for sure. You know, I think Hodgson is a good manager, a good head coach, and technically it says it on his CV. You know, should we have beaten Bristol City? 110%. We should have. We're at home. Like, it's got to be done. But at the end of the day, if we're not creating for our forward line properly, or if our forward line ain't moving in the correct directions or going it with the aim to win or score, it's going to be an annoying scenario for everyone, fans included, you know? So, yeah. As far as I'm saying is front line for me is fine for next season. The only things that we need to work on is bringing in creativity and wing backs. Oh, sorry, people. I'm fucking yawning too much. But yeah, that's what I would say really. So yeah, I get where you're coming from though. But we'll see something different in the summer. You got to remember, Kone didn't come into preseason. It was pretty much preseason was Seller and Frey. And yeah, so when a player comes in my experience wise, when a player comes in before preseason, the gelness kind of is like a bit of a weird one. So yeah, but yeah, we'll see what happens Saturday. I wouldn't say I'm feeling positive, but I'm feeling like it could end up in a 0-0 or a 1-1 scenario, but that's only if we defend really well. So yeah, apart from that, we're gonna leave it there for today. We'll probably be live on Twitch later on, but for right now, we're gonna leave it there. We're gonna see you Saturday. Hopefully you'll join in at 12:15 and tune in to the afternoon kickoff of Millwall vs QPR, and we go from there. So apart from that, cheers Robert and West12 for tuning into the chat. Much love and appreciation for that, and anyone else who's tuned in. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe if you want to. Peace, love, positivity as always, and we'll catch you Saturday. Cheers boys, have a good day.